Okay guys, this is officially your last lesson for this school year. Next week you're just going to have one quiz and time to get in anything that you're missing up to this point. So this is the last actual lesson that you're going to have to do homework for. So yay, congratulations on that. So we are multiplying and dividing radicals, and just know that a radical is just a fancy name for a square root. So there's a rule. So the square root of a times the square root of b is this, let me get my pencil working, is the square root of a times b. Okay, so if we do the square root of 4 times the square root of 81, that would be the square root of 324, because 4 times 81 is 324. And if you figure that out, the answer to that is 18. I think that there's a little bit easier way to do it, and I'm going to show you that way. The way that I like to do this is I like to find out the square root of 4, which is 2. And then the square root of 81, which is 9. And 2 times 9 is 18. Okay, so that's how we're going to work through these, because I just think it's a little bit easier to do those this way. So again, you're going to have to make sure that you have a calculator that can do square roots on them. If you have a fancy graphing calculator, it's going to be second and then the x2 button or x squared button, and then you'll type the number underneath. So definitely double check your calculator to make sure that the answers that I am getting, you are also able to get on your calculator so that you are sure that you're doing them right. Otherwise, when it comes to the quiz that you are going to have next week, it would be very hard to get these correct. Okay, the square root of 169 is 13. Because 13 times 13 is 169. If you don't want to do that on your calculator, the other way to do it is to get a good old-fashioned multiplication chart, and there's that line that's highlighted down the middle that are perfect squares, because you're looking for two numbers exactly that will equal 169. So 13 times 13 is 169. What times what will give you 49? That's 7. 7 times 7 gives you 49. And the answer is 91. Square root of 25. You can either type in the square root of 25, or you could think, what two numbers will give me 25? And that's 5 times 5. So the square root of 25 is 5. And the square root of 9 is 3. 9 times 3 is 15. We are not going to be working with any decimals on these today. They're all going to be just perfect squares. All right, the square root of 729 is 27. The square root of 2,500 is 50. 27 times 50 is 1,350. Dividing is basically the same concept, but I'm going to do one page of that with you as well. Okay, dividing is the same concept. The square root of a divided by the square root of b is the square root. Oh man, I keep forgetting to touch that pencil button. Sorry, guys. Is the square root of a over b. Okay. So we take the square root of 25, and that's 5. We take the square root of 36, and that's 6. If it can be reduced, you can reduce it. You don't have to, though, but 5/6 would be the answer there. The square root of 64 is 8, because 8 times 8 is 64. The square root of 361 is 19. And that, I cannot believe, can be reduced either, but I'll double check. Nope. Square root of 81 is 9. Square root of 100, what times what equals 100? That is 10. And 9/10 can also not be reduced. The square root of 121 is 11. The square root of 144 is 12. So those would be your final answers. You don't have to turn them into decimals. They should be fractions. Your homework is a sheet that I actually wrote out that I'm going to give to you, so it's not going to look like a regular workbook sheet that you're used to seeing. So just kind of be aware of that when you see that. So this is your last lesson. Congratulations. Do not forget to come back next week to do the quiz and to finish up any work that you're missing so that we can get your final grades in. Have a great weekend.